What is the meaning of tenacious? Tenacious is an adjective, not easily stopped or pulled apart, firm or strong, continuing for a long time, very determined to do something. Synonyms for tenacity: courage, determination, grit, perseverance, resolve, staunchness, persistence, steadfastness, doggedness, resoluteness, intestinal fortitude. One could say Team Awesomeness has been tenacious in developing team cohesion, working collectively, completing assignments, and ultimately moving on to the next class.
Being tenacious means giving 100% effort, not more, but certainly not less. Giving your all gives every opportunity for possible success. Being tenacious means working with determination. Don't rely on luck, fate, or destiny. You are the impetus behind all success. Being tenacious means pushing beyond what you think you can do. Don't quit when you are tired, but quit when the job is done.
After being cut from his high school basketball team, he went home, locked himself in his room and cried. He wasn't able to speak until he was almost 4 years old, and his teacher said he would never amount to much. Was demoted from her job as a news anchor because she wasn't fit for television. At age 11 he was cut from his team after being diagnosed with a growth hormone deficiency which made him smaller in stature than most kids his age. At 30 years old he was left devastated and depressed after being unceremoniously removed from the company he started. A high school dropout, whose personal struggles with drugs and poverty culminated in an unsuccessful suicide attempt. A teacher told him he was too stupid to learn anything, and that he should go into a field where he might succeed by virtue of his pleasant personality. Rejected by Decca Recording Studios, who said, "We don't like their sound. They have no future in show business." His fiancée copyright died, failed in business, had a nervous breakdown and was defeated in 8 elections. At a point in her life Rowling was nearly penniless, depressed, divorced and had to raise her child on her own. She was also on welfare back then while writing a manuscript of Harry Potter. Adding to that, 12 publishers rejected the manuscript.
Milton Hershey started 3 different candy companies in 3 different cities, only to see each of these ventures fail. With his track record, he could not attract loans or investors for his 4th attempt. He barely scraped together the funds to start Lancaster Caramel Company. His caramels became so popular that he was able to sell that company in 1901 for $1 million. He then concentrated his energy on his chocolate company, although chocolate was not a popular candy in America at the time. The company became so successful that the town where it was located changed its name in honor of Hershey chocolate. Teachers of hearing-impaired young Thomas Edison labeled him stupid and unteachable. As a child, he accidentally burned down the family barn. As a young man, he was fired from his first job working for the railroad company when his inattentiveness to his work resulted in a train derailment. Even after he began his career as an inventor, his work did not earn him recognition. A British Parliament committee in 1878 described Edison's inventions as unworthy of the attention of practical or scientific men. Asked in his later years about the many detours and roadblocks on his road to success, the famous inventor said, "I never failed once. Success happens to be a 2,000-step process." Although the movie The King's Speech tells the story of one kind of perseverance as George VI overcomes his stutter through speech lessons, the story behind the film tells a more modern tale. David Seidler, the 73-year-old screenwriter for the film, is the oldest winner of an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay. Prior to the Oscar-winning film, only one of his screenplays was ever produced, and there was more than a 20-year lull between that script, Tucker, and The King's Speech. He was inspired to write the story of the stammering king because he suffered from the same disability as a child. Frida Kahlo, a Mexican painter, suffered physically debilitating conditions for much of her life. As a child, she had polio, leaving her right leg and foot damaged. While she was a young woman attending art school in Mexico City, a steel handrail drove through her pelvis during a collision between the bus she was riding and a streetcar. She had several miscarriages as a result of this accident. As physicians attempted to heal her shattered body, she underwent more than 30 surgeries. She painted even while most of her body was immobilized due to being bedridden or wearing a full body cast. She drew on the physical and emotional pain she experienced as the subject of several of her 143 paintings. One of her paintings hangs in the Louvre, and she has been depicted on postage stamps in both the United States and Mexico.
I chose Tenacious as it has personal meaning in my life as a single mom who often wants to throw in the towel because she feels she is not good enough. As a female executive who has had little formal education, yet had enough tenacity to make it to the top. And as an adult degree student who has her plate full with life, yet remains tenacious in her journey. I also chose Tenacious because it describes what I feel each and every one of my teammates have been at one point or another in the past 10 weeks. I could not be more proud of each of them for sticking it out and pushing through, despite all the struggles we have been through.
I chose Tenacious as an example for my kids. I want them to understand when they grow up that anything worth having is worth fighting for. One of my goals has always been to pursue a college degree. Now that I'm pursuing my goal, it is going to take a lot of determination, perseverance, and tenacity to accomplish my goal.
As I reflect on my life and the approach I've taken with it, and study my personality themes illustrated in the Strengths Finder assessment, I believe there's tenacity in almost everything I do. It's both a blessing and a curse as the internal demands of achievement can at times be burdensome. The picture of my high school wrestling match is a perfect case of not being defeated before you start. Although my opponent was 8 inches taller and 100 pounds heavier at the time, I pinned him in less than 3 minutes. It's a classic example of never giving up. As I parent my family, I try to be the model of hard work, ethics, and kindness. In addition to one, obtaining a solid cognitive skill set, one also needs to gain a strong internal drive to make a difference in life. My goal is graduating from college with a business degree and balancing the work-life relationship. This will require tremendous tenacity to finish.
I chose tenacious because several times during the last 9 months I have felt frustrated over the direction of my life, and it has taken an extraordinary amount of grit, determination, and tenacity to keep getting up in the morning. In addition, I believe that everyone has the ability to succeed if they were to commit 100% to whatever they chose to do in life.
And I always have to think about what's important in life is to think, to me, of 3 things: where you started, where you are, and where you're going to be. Those are the 3 things that I try and do every day. And you know, when I think about getting up and giving a speech, I can't help it. I have to remember the first speech I ever gave. I was coaching at Rutgers University. That was my first job. Oh, that's wonderful. And I was the freshman coach. That's when freshmen played on freshman teams. And I was so fired up about my first job. I see Lou Holtz, Coach Holtz here. What was it like the first job you had, right? The very first time you stood in the locker room to give a pep talk. That's a special place, the locker room, for a coach to give a talk. So my idol as a coach was Vince Lombardi. And I read this book called Commitment to Excellence by Vince Lombardi. And in the book, Lombardi talked about the first time he spoke before his Green Bay Packer team in the locker room. They were perennial losers. And I'm reading this, and Lombardi said he was thinking, should it be a long talk, a short talk? But he wanted to be emotional. He said, be brief. And this is what he did. Normally you get in the locker room, I don't know, 25 minutes, a half hour before the team takes the field. You do your little X and O's, and then you give the great Newt Rockety talk. We all do. Speech number 84. You pull them right out. You get ready. Get your squad ready. Well, this is the first one I ever gave. And I read this thing, Lombardi, what he said was he didn't go in. He waited. His team was wondering, where is he? Where is this great coach? He's not there. 10 minutes. He's still not there. 3 minutes before they have to take the field, Lombardi comes in, bangs the door open, and I think you all remember what great presence he had, right? Great presence. And he walked in, and he just walked back and forth like this, just staring at the players. And he said, all eyes on me. And I'm reading this in this book, and I'm getting a picture of this Lombardi before his first game. And he said, gentlemen, we will be successful this year if you can focus on 3 things and 3 things only: your family, your religion, and the Green Bay Packers. And he like that. And the rest of it, they knocked the walls down. The rest was history. I said, that's beautiful. I'm going to do that. Your family, your religion, and Rutgers basketball. That's it. I had it. Listen, I'm 21 years old. The kids I'm coaching are 19. All right? And I'm going to be the greatest coach in the world, the next Lombardi. And I'm ready. And I'm practicing out in right beside the locker room. The manager's telling me, you got to go in. Not yet, not yet. Family, religion, Rutgers basketball. All eyes on me. I got it. And now finally he said, 3 minutes. I said, fine. True story. I go to knock the doors open, just like Lombardi. Boom! They didn't open. I almost broke my arm. I was like, it was when it didn't open. Now I'm down. The players are looking. Coach, help the coach up. Help him up. And now I did like Lombardi. I walked back and forth, right? And I was going like that with my arm, get the feeling back in it. And finally I said, gentlemen, all eyes on me. And these kids wanted to play. They're 19. Let's go. I said, gentlemen, we'll be successful this year if you can focus on 3 things and 3 things only. They said, yeah. I said, your family, your religion, and the Green Bay Packers, I told them. I did that. I remember that. I remember where I came from. It's so important to know where you are. And I know where I am right now. How do you go from where you are to where you want to be? And I think you have to have an enthusiasm for life. You have to have a dream. a goal, and you have to be willing to work for it. I talked about my family. My family is so important. People think I have courage. The courage of my family is my wife, Pam, my 3 daughters here, Nicole, Jamie, Leanne, my mom, who is right here too, and that screen is flashing up there 30 seconds like I care about that screen right now, huh? I got tumors all over my body. I'm worried about some guy in the back going 30 seconds, huh? You got a lot. Hey, fanabla, buddy. You got a lot. Right, I just got one last thing. I urge all of you, to enjoy your life, the precious moments you have, to spend each day with some laughter and some thought, to get your emotions going, to be enthusiastic every day. And Ralph Waldo Emerson said, nothing great can be accomplished without enthusiasm, to keep your dreams alive in spite of problems, whatever you have, to be able to work hard for your dreams to come true, become a reality. Now I look at where I am now, and I know what I want to do. What I would like to be able to do is to spend whatever time I have left and to give and maybe some hope to others. All right? Arthur Ashe Foundation is a wonderful thing. And AIDS, the amount of money pouring in for AIDS is not enough, but it is significant. But if I told you it's 10 times the amount that goes in for cancer research, I also tell you that 500,000 people will die this year of cancer. And I also tell you that 1 in every 4 will be afflicted with this disease. And yet, for somehow, we seem to have put it in a little bit of the background. I want to bring it back on the front table. We need your help. I need your help. We need money for research. It may not save my life. It may save my children's lives. It may save someone you love. And it's very important. And ESPN has been so kind to support me in this endeavor and allow me to announce tonight that with ESPN's support, which means what? Their money and their dollars, that they're helping me, we are starting the Jimmy V Foundation for Cancer Research. And its motto is, don't give up, don't ever give up.
How we became tenacious. We have stayed up late many nights to complete assignments that could not be finished during the day due to work, kids, and life in general. We have pushed through frustrations with one another when walking away or getting rid of someone would have been easier. We have gotten up early to read or respond to other classmates' postings. We have built up and supported other teammates that have wanted to quit when all we could really think about was quitting ourselves. Why is tenacity so important? In a nationwide survey of high school dropouts, 69% said that school had not motivated or inspired them to work hard. The fact is, even those that stayed in school are not motivated or inspired either, and the more time spent in school, the worse it gets. This lack of motivation to do well in school represents a serious loss of human potential, with implications for students' well-being later in life and for our country's future economic growth.
In the end, we believe being tenacious is the most critical quality for a team player or as an individual. The tenacity within us has challenged our spirit in never giving up on ourselves or our teammates. We have made significant sacrifices with the day-to-day activities, time with our families, and our sleep. This determination and perseverance has made us a more cohesive team. Without tenacity, many of the world's greatest achievements or inventions would not have existed. The most difficult thing is the decision to act. The rest is merely tenacity. The fears are paper tigers. You can do anything you decide to do. You can act to change and control your life, and the procedure, the process, is its own reward. Quotation by Amelia Earhart.